Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a little bit of a rant video, and I mean, when I get into this topic, some of you might be thinking like, well, this isn't such a big deal, this is actually kind of cool, but I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why I'm not a big fan of it at all. Now, before I get into this video, make sure to hit the like button and to hit the subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with all my content, you like what I talk about, you like what I have to say, and maybe you just like my face. Maybe it's the soothing voice I have that makes you go to sleep at night. I don't know, it could be many things, just, subscribe. Do it, please, now. So we got a new Batgirl movie coming out on HBO Max, and if you don't know about this, it is going to be starring Leslie Grace, who will be playing Barbara Gordon. Now, for a long time, they have been teasing that a Batman will show up in the movie, and we don't know what Batman it was. It could have been Ben Affleck, it could have been Michael Keaton, it could have even been a recast, because we know as of right now, Warner Brothers is loving recasting and moving on from actors who are great in a role they already have. Now, a couple of hours ago, it seems like it has been confirmed which Batman it is going to be showing up in the Batgirl movie, and specifically, I am on an article from Collider published about 2 hours ago, and it says Michael Keaton added to cast list for Batgirl movie starring Leslie Grace. So yes, it is going to be Michael Keaton's Batman showing up in this film as the main Batman potentially for this new DCEU they're creating. So anything that is in a connected universe for DC, it looks like he might be the main Batman, which I think is really stupid, and I think is a terrible decision. There's only a couple of people cast in this movie that we know who they're gonna be, such as Leslie Grace as Batgirl, now Michael Keaton as Batman, and also J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon. And I think J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon was one of the casting announcements that had a lot of people, such as myself, confused, because we didn't know if that meant Ben Affleck was returning, considering J.K. Simmons was the Gordon to Ben Affleck's Batman. It pretty much sums up to me that in the Flash movie we are going to be getting, Flash does change history, and when he goes back to his regular timeline, he goes to a timeline where Ben Affleck is no longer Batman and it has been Michael Keaton this whole time. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but right now it seems like that is the most possible explanation, and I just think it's a bad choice. I don't understand why they think Michael Keaton's Batman is going to be a selling point for the DC universe. Look, Michael Keaton's Batman was alright when it came out in the 80s. And this is coming from me, one of the biggest Batman fans on the planet, and I'm not down for this. I would so much rather just have Ben Affleck continue, a guy who was actually really good for the role. Some people would even say perfect for the role. This is Ben Affleck who would have brought flavor to the role of Batman and Bruce Wayne. And all it is with Michael Keaton is it's nostalgia. And let me just say right now, I think it's the wrong type of nostalgia. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen No Way Home. Maybe mute the video for a bit here. Kevin Feige and Marvel have done it right, where they brought Toby and Andrew back. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is moving in an area where the multiverse is going to be explored, expanded, and explained. So we're going to be seeing a ton of things from here on out. And he knew people loved Toby, and he knew that if people didn't love Andrew, Andrew was at least done dirty in his previous two films. So he knew making a live-action Spider-Verse film was actually going to work. It has taken almost 15 years to get to this point of introducing the multiverse. And the thing about DC is there's no way they're not looking at Marvel and looking at the success they have. And I will die on a hill protecting and defending DC. DC is much more interesting to me and connects with me more than Marvel does. And I mean, DC's got Batman, of course. That's not to take anything away from you Marvel fans or Marvel in general. There's obviously a reason Marvel is so successful, because they've been doing this with one man, Kevin Feige, who knows the direction to move forward with the films. Whereas with DC, there have been issues because there's too many voices in Warner Brothers and people who don't understand DC in general. They think they can capitalize on the nostalgia factor of bringing back Michael Keaton's Batman, and their nostalgia is relying on all the people who watched superhero movies in the 80s and the 90s. I'm sorry, Michael Keaton's Batman is not going to draw as much interest as Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. It's just not going to happen. I don't believe Michael Keaton's Batman presence did more than Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man presence. If you were to toy around with a Christian Bale coming back as Batman, that's a different story. I think a lot more people would have been interested in that. And look, maybe I'm a little biased right now, but even though I love Batman, I'm gonna say Michael Keaton is not one of my favorite Batmen. I don't think Michael Keaton is terrible at Batman or Bruce Wayne, but I also don't think he was great as Batman and Bruce Wayne. Now, what's your plan with Michael Keaton's Batman? You bring him into this new DCEU, and he's an older Bruce Wayne, might be getting to the point where he's too old to even be Batman anymore. So what does he have to do? He has to ensure that Batgirl becomes the new bat symbol in Gotham City. People have been asking for a Batman Beyond film for years. There is a huge following for Batman Beyond. I like Batman Beyond. I wouldn't necessarily say I want a film of him, but I wouldn't say no, it is Batman at the end of the day. I'll take it. If DC is already playing around with a messy multiverse, why couldn't you have just done that? So now you're going to take aspects of Batman Beyond and throw it into a Batgirl movie that we still don't even really know what the hell is going on and what the plan for that is in general. What I'm taking for it, though, is there is truly no Batman moving forward. You just have an old Bruce Wayne who probably isn't fully Batman anymore, and he's just here to mentor the future of DC characters. Maybe I'm being picky, but I don't care. I'm not interested in that at all. If you wanted an older, more weathered Batman, you had Ben Affleck and you should have stuck with it because that was working with the fans. Michael Keaton, I don't think is really gonna work with the fans. And hey, prove me wrong. Batman is Batman. I'll take Batman anything all day, every day. But I won't lie to you when I say that I'm not excited for his Batman the way I would be for Ben Affleck or the way I am for Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves' Batman movie. That's interesting to me. Michael Keaton coming back is not interesting to me. And can we just talk about how it's apparently being reported that during the filming of the Flash movie, Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton were one, not in one scene together, or two, they were apparently not even on set at the same time with one another. So you're going to have your own version of a multiversal event in the new Flash movie, and you're going to tell me you are not going to put two Batmen in a movie at the same time, even if it's just for 5-10 minutes? What the hell is wrong with them over there? I said I would defend DC till the day I die, but the one thing I can't defend is their movie choices. I don't understand what in the world is going on at Warner Brothers, and they desperately need someone new to lead this company and DC Comics as a whole, because whatever Warner Brothers thinks they're doing is the right call, it's not. And I'm really hoping that Discovery coming in, I've said this many times, I hope they are capable of fixing some, if not most, of these mistakes that Warner Brothers has done over the past couple of years. So moving forward, this cast list apparently was released a little too early, as it was supposed to be released after the release of the Flash movie, because it's clear that this Batgirl movie is to take place after the Flash, whatever happens in that film. Now, this is what's very interesting to me. So apparently Michael Shannon and Antje Trau are supposed to be showing up in the Flash movie, and I guess in this new timeline he goes to, or this other dimension he goes to, they are going to be recurring villains of Sasha Calle's Supergirl. Now, if this is only a one-time appearance, appearance, I don't really know. Especially Michael Shannon, they are pretty big characters to be bringing back just for a one-time appearance and then not to deal with them again. I really don't know what's going on here. If maybe when Flash reverts back to the original timeline, certain things have changed, and maybe Zod and Feora never died to Superman and Man of Steel. Gosh, Warner Brothers, I really dislike you guys so much. The more I talk in this video, the less I know if this is a video about hating Warner Brothers, hating the story direction, disliking Michael Keaton coming back as Batman full time. At least it looks like it's going to be full time. I don't know anymore. It's mind-numbingly annoying for me. And I'm just reading a subheading right here on this article. Ben Affleck says he didn't even see Michael Keaton during filming. Let's make a DC multiversal film and have two Batmen in it, but not put them in a scene together. Oh my god, dude. I think I'm going to end this video now because I've made it pretty clear where I stand with Warner Brothers and the story direction and characters and actor castings. I've made my point pretty clear. I'm not a big fan and highly dislike a lot of what's going on, just how confusing Warner Brothers is and what they're doing to the DC universe, which is they don't know what they're doing. They're just doing things just to see what happens. I may have been a little harsh on some of the things I've said. You let me know in the comments whether you'd like to see Michael Keaton return as Batman full-time, or you just let me know if you even fully understand what's going on, because I'm starting to think I don't. This is super, super annoying. I hope one day they can get their shit in order. And if anyone from Warner Brothers sees this, I promise you hiring me wouldn't be the worst decision. I could Kevin Feige this shit. I could Kevin Feige the DC universe. So just let me know. Okay, well, that's that. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.